Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode the corporate world. Today we are diving into a company that seems to be having a bit of an identity crisis, including who their president even is. And before we start, if you appreciate getting straight insights from corporate documents, make sure you're subscribed. We also have a Discord community linked in the description below where you can discuss theses reports and more with other investors. Today we're looking at a report filed by Global Interactive Technologies in July of 2025. This report is basically a corporate update, addressing some important changes and, let's just say, a few missteps. There's drama involving their initial public offering or IPO, management shakeups, and even confusion about who exactly holds what title in the company. It is like a soap opera written in SEC filings. First, let's talk about the IPO. Back in August of 2023, Global Interactive Technologies went public and raised about $808 million. A large portion of the investments, over $6 million, came from investors in Korea, with the rest coming from United States. Now, here's where things get interesting. After the IPO, the company started noticing some potential problems with how the previous management was handling finances. It seems like core business operations weren't being funded properly, which put the company in a tough spot. As a result, in early 2024, the board of directors stepped in. The problems eventually led to the removal of the previous CEO because of cause. Then Tae-hoon Kim was appointed as the interim CEO shortly after this new CEO terminated the employment of the COO and CMO, which are other top-level executive positions. There were even changes in legal representation for the company, and in December 2024, shareholders got to vote in 2 new directors to the board. Here is where it gets even more intriguing. Even though the new management was able to change who had access to the company's bank account in May of 2024, the account had already been drained. The company is now working with regulatory and enforcement authorities to investigate this depleted account. The company also announced that they sold one of their subsidiaries, Hanryu Bank Compso, in December of 2024. Now, we have to address a rather embarrassing mistake. In a couple of reports filed in April and May of 2025, Jae-min Lee was incorrectly identified as the president of the company. According to the statement, Mr. Lee has never actually held the title of president or any official position within the company. The report said he is an experienced business person and investor, but his ownership remains below 5% of the outstanding shares. So the company goes on to say that members of management seek his advice. The report says the chief financial officer referred to Mr. Lee as president because of cultural Korean expectations. The company goes on to say that members of management seek his advice. The report says the chief financial officer referred to Mr. Lee as president because of cultural Korean expectations. The company goes on to say that members of management seek his advice. The report says the chief financial officer referred to Mr. Lee as president because of cultural Korean expectations. The company goes on to say that members of management seek his advice. The report says the chief financial officer referred to Mr. Lee as president because of cultural Korean expectations. The company also addressed unusual market trading, which happened in the company's shares on May 30, 2025. On that date, the prices of their shares fluctuated quite a bit. The low was 1.90 cents, the peak was $3.12, and it closed at 2,000, and it closed at 2,012 cents with a very high volume, over 55 million shares being traded. The company notes that over the previous month, their average daily volume was less than 30,000 shares per day, so it was an extreme departure from the norm. The company stated that they were not aware of any non-public information that would explain this event. They also said that they are working with regulators regarding 41 cents, with a very high volume, over 55 million shares with a very high volume. Over 55 million shares being traded. The company notes that over the previous month, their average daily volume was less than 30,000 shares per day. So it was an extreme departure from the norm. The company stated that they were not aware of any non-public information that would explain this event. They also said that they are... Lastly, as with most filings, the document includes a list of exhibits, in this case only one tagged. Now let's put it all together. Global Interactive Technologies is dealing with a lot. They are trying to stabilize their finances after a problematic IPO. The company is dealing with management issues with an unexpected CEO replacement and potential financial mismanagement, and correcting the record about who serves in what role. Especially regarding the president title underlines how important clear communication and accuracy are in public filings. The unusual trading activity is also concerning, and the company's cooperation with regulators is a must. Looking ahead, it's still hard to say if the company's direction is strong. The new management team has a tough road to rebuild trust and ensure stable operations. There are notable risks, including fixing past financial issues and dealing with regulatory concerns. However, there may also be opportunities to turn things around with a new focus and strategy. Alright, that's our breakdown of Global Interactive Technology's latest filing. What's your take on these corporate missteps and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord channel in the description to continue the conversation. Thanks for watching. See you next time.